Welcome back for another deep dive. Today we're going to be exploring a really fascinating book.
Yeah.
It's called Unikuvia, Yilionalinen Elimani.
Okay.
And it's an autobiography where the author, he shares his lifelong journey with all sorts of paranormal and spiritual phenomena.
Hmm.
And it's crazy because these experiences, they span all the way up to this year, 2024.
Oh, wow.
So really interesting stuff.
Yeah. I mean, what I find so fascinating about this book is how the author approaches these events, you know?
Yeah.
There's this constant tension between skepticism
Right.
and open-mindedness, which
Yeah.
it makes it a really compelling read.
It does. It really does. And it's not like he's blindly believing everything, you know?
Yeah.
He's genuinely trying to understand these extraordinary experiences.
Okay.
And it all starts, believe it or not, with a Ouija board session when he's just 14 years old.
Wow, that's young.
Yeah.
So what happens there?
Well, he's with a friend,
Okay.
and the friend's mother,
Mm-hmm.
who's skilled in automatic writing, she guides the session.
Interesting.
And the glass starts moving,
Oh, wow.
spelling out these messages.
Right.
Can you imagine being that age
Right.
and witnessing something like that?
Yeah.
It's got to have a profound impact, right?
Absolutely. No wonder this experience was like a turning point for him.
Yeah, for sure. And you can see it right after that. He dives deep into UFO research.
Really?
Yeah, he even reaches out to Tapani Koivula, who, is a well-known UFO researcher in Finland.
I see.
And get this, he gives a presentation on UFOs in his religion class
Oh, wow.
at 14.
Haha. That's pretty bold.
I know, right? What 14-year-old does that?
Yeah, you gotta admire that willingness to explore unconventional ideas at such a young age.
Totally.
But what's interesting is, despite his growing interest in all this paranormal stuff,
Yeah,
he still attends confirmation camp.
right?
You'd think those two things would, clash.
Yeah, you'd think.
But instead, it leads to some really thought-provoking conversations.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Like, who does he talk to there?
So he ends up having these nightly debates
Okay.
with a young priest about his beliefs.
Wow, so he's really going for it.
He is. And I was so surprised to read that the priest, rather than dismissing him,
Yeah.
actually encourages the author to hold on to his unique perspective.
That's amazing.
It is. It's like that kind of validation,
Right.
especially at that age,
Right.
must have been incredibly powerful.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it could have easily gone the other way
Right.
with the priest, shutting down all those ideas.
For sure.
But instead, he's empowered to keep exploring,
Right.
which is awesome.
It is. And explore. He does, after that, he attends lectures.
Uh-huh.
He writes poetry,
Oh, wow.
even a science fiction novel.
Interesting.
All while, continuing to delve deeper into this world of the paranormal.
Yeah, he really keeps going.
He does.
So what else does he get up to?
Well, there's this part where he briefly joins
Okay.
a group of Pentecostal youths.
Really?
I know, but it's more because he's drawn to a particular violin-playing young woman than any genuine, religious conviction,
So not quite a true believer.
Not really, no.
Yeah.
But even there, his skeptical side shines through.
Oh, I bet. How so?
Well, his observations about speaking in tongues, for example, are just hilarious.
Yeah.
But also made with this kind of curiosity.
I see.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It paints this picture of someone who's deeply engaged with all these experiences, but also always questioning,
Right.
always observing,
Mm-hmm.
never just taking things at face value.
Yeah, I like that. Healthy skepticism.
Exactly.
It's good.
Yeah.
So where does he go from there?
Well, things start to get even more interesting. As he gets
Yeah.
older, he starts exploring his own intuitive abilities.
Interesting. And as the author gets older, his experiences get even more intriguing.
Oh, really? Like what?
Well, he starts to explore his own intuitive abilities. And there's this fascinating episode
Okay.
at one of the Ultra Pi Vet conferences.
Ultra Vet.
Yeah, it focuses on parapsychology and spirituality.
Oh, right.
And he's challenged to use his intuition to provide insights about complete strangers.
Okay.
And he's actually spot on with his readings.
Wow.
But the response from the crowd, it's overwhelming.
Oh, no?
Almost too much for him to handle.
Really?
Yeah, it's an important lesson for him, though.
Okay.
And maybe for all of us,
What was that?
He realizes that people need to develop their own intuitive abilities rather than just relying on others for guidance.
Oh, that's interesting.
It's about empowering individuals to trust their own inner wisdom,
Right.
which is actually a recurring theme throughout the book.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah, and then we're introduced to this character who kind of adds a whole other dimension to the author's journey.
Oh, who's that?
Veho Hiltonen.
Vehu Hiltunen.
Yeah, he's a folk healer and self-proclaimed contactee.
Okay.
And Veho is like larger than life, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Full of these outlandish stories. And he has this playful, almost cosmic sense of humor.
I like that.
Yeah, he even claims to have met the author like 18 years prior.
What?
Even though the author was only 17 at the time.
Wow.
I know, it's wild.
That's great.
But it's that kind of energy that makes their interactions so fascinating.
Oh, for sure.
And they share some pretty incredible experiences together.
Take away.
Well, there's this UFO encounter while they're camping on an island.
Oh, wow.
So they're sitting around a campfire, and suddenly this bright light appears in the sky.
Okay.
But here's where it gets really strange.
Right.
This light seems to respond to Veho's verbal commands.
Really?
Yeah, like it moves and shifts based on what he's saying.
That's crazy.
It really makes you wonder, like,
what
the
if-
nature of this object, you know,
Yeah.
and what might be behind its seemingly intelligent behavior.
Like, is this some kind of advanced technology?
Exactly,
Right.
or a manifestation of consciousness that we just don't understand yet.
Or, I guess, some skeptics might say it's a case of misinterpretation.
Right, or even a staged event.
Yeah, true.
But the book doesn't really give us definitive answers, you know?
Mhm.
It kind of leaves room for the reader to ponder those questions.
I like that.
Yeah, and then there's that bizarre incident with the disappearing fisherman.
Oh, yeah. What happened there?
So the author and Veho are walking along the Carvio Canal,
Okay.
and they encounter these two identical fishermen.
Identical.
Yeah, dressed in green.
Hmm.
And they even like make eye contact,
Wow.
exchange greetings.
Okay.
But then moments later, when they turn back to look again,
Yeah.
the fishermen have vanished.
What's-
Like without a trace.
No way.
Yeah, the author can't explain it.
Mhm.
There's no logical explanation for their sudden disappearance.
Right.
It's as if they just stepped into another dimension,
Wow.
leaving the author and Veho, like, questioning what they just witnessed.
That's so bizarre.
It is. And, you know, Veho's house, it seems to be like a hotbed of paranormal activity.
Oh, really? Like, what else happens?
Well, the author describes these strange events like ball lightning,
Uh-huh.
unexplained footsteps,
Okay.
and even an encounter with a being that resembled Puss in Boots.
Puss in Boots.
Yeah, I know. It sounds crazy, right?
It does.
And then there are these black cats that appear in the author's locked room at night,
Oh, no.
adding to this, like, eerie atmosphere of Veho's home.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, all these events, they raise an important question for us.
Like what?
Are these just isolated incidents, or are they connected in some way? Maybe pointing to a deeper reality that's beyond our normal perception.
That's a good question.
It is, and it's a question that stays with the author even years later.
Right.
But one encounter really stands out.
Okay.
Not because of its strangeness, but because of its seemingly precognitive nature.
Precognitive.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he's visiting Tampere's Alexander Church with a friend
Mm.
when he encounters this mysterious woman,
Okay.
and she offers him this advice.
What does she say?
She tells him that he'll find peace in Lixa.
Yisa.
Yeah, it's a town in North Karelia,
I see.
but at the time it seems completely irrelevant to him.
Okay.
But years later, the author discovers that he owns a spiritual retreat in Lixa.
What are the chances?
I know, right? It's like this woman somehow saw into his future.
That's wild.
It is. This encounter, more than any other, it leaves the author questioning the nature of time and the possibility that our lives might be unfolding along a path that's already been laid out for us in some way.
Wow, that's a thought-provoking concept.
It is, and it's something we'll come back to later when we delve into the author's experiences with precognitive dreams and alternate realities.
Okay, so now get this. The author's journey takes us even further down the rabbit hole.
Oh, how so?
Well, he's always been fascinated by dreams, right?
Okay.
Keeps a detailed dream journal for years.
Right.
But then he starts having these lucid dreams.
Lucid dreams.
Yeah, where he's like aware that he's dreaming.
Wow.
And he can even influence what happens.
That's amazing.
I know, it's like a whole other level.
Yeah, it's a fascinating state of consciousness.
Totally.
He describes being able to experience the dream world like so vividly, but at the same time being aware of his physical body.
Like a split in perception almost, right?
Yeah, exactly, like a doorway between two realities.
And it's in these lucid dreams that he encounters this recurring figure.
Okay, who is it?
It's this small, light brown, humanoid being.
Humanoid.
Yeah, he describes it as almost like a worn leather couch.
Oh, wow, that's a strange description.
I know, right?
But, okay, so what does this being do?
It becomes his guide, basically.
His guide.
Yeah, leading him on journeys to other worlds.
Wow.
And even like different timelines.
Different timeline.
I know, it's like stepping through a portal into the unknown.
It sounds incredible.
It is, and he shares, excerpts from his dream journal.
Oh, really?
And some of these accounts are just like mind-blowing.
Okay, give me an example.
Okay, so in one entry, he describes witnessing what he calls star nations.
Star nations.
Yeah, and they become visible in the night sky.
Okay.
But get this, only by sharing the being's consciousness.
So he can only see them through the being's eyes.
Yeah, exactly.
That's so interesting.
Right, it makes you wonder,
Wow, what?
like, if our perception is limited by our physical senses,
Okay.
and if there are other ways of perceiving reality that we're just, not normally aware of.
Right, like maybe these star nations exist outside of our normal spectrum of vision.
Exactly.
And he was only able to access them through this shared consciousness.
It's a trip, right?
It is. So what else does he see in these dreams?
Okay, so another dream journal entry
Yeah.
describes a vision of a secret ritual.
A ritual.
Yeah, involving human-reptilian hybrids.
Human-reptilian hybrids. Okay.
I know, it's creepy stuff.
It sounds...
And it takes place in a nunnery, of all places.
A nunnery. That's a strange juxtaposition.
It is, the imagery is really vivid and disturbing. And it leaves him with this sense of unease long after he wakes up.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Like, it really stuck with him.
Right, it's a powerful image,
But-
like tapping into this primal fear of the unknown, of beings that exist on the fringes of our understanding.
Right. It's like, what does it even mean to be human?
Exactly, these hybrids blur the lines.
And then there's this glimpse into a parallel life.
Oh, interesting. Where is it?
It's in Jeonsu, his hometown.
Okay.
And it's so similar to his waking life. Same people, same places.
Right.
There's this subtle difference.
Okay, what is it?
It's like this dreamlike fog that hangs over everything.
Interesting.
It's as if he's looking at a slightly distorted reflection of his own reality.
That's wild.
It really is.
And it makes you think about parallel universes, like,
Yeah.
do our choices create these ripples
Yeah.
that extend into other dimensions,
Leading to infinite possibility.
variations of ourselves?
It's kind of a mind-bending concept.
It is. So are all of his experiences just limited to dreams?
No, not at all. He also describes an out-of-body experience.
Ooh, wow. Okay.
And in this one, he encounters his deceased dog.
Oh, wow. That's got to be emotional.
It is. It's incredibly emotional, yeah, and filled with these intense sensations and this feeling of being pulled out of his body like a magnet.
Wow.
It's really powerful stuff.
Yeah, so this encounter, it seems to highlight the power of our emotional connections.
Totally.
Even beyond the physical realm, like
Yeah.
his love for his dog,
Yeah.
it acts as this tether.
Right.
Helping him navigate the unfamiliar terrain of the out-of-body experience.
And overcome his fear.
Exactly.
So after this deep dive into Unikuvia, Little Nolan and Elamani,
Yeah.
we're left with some pretty profound questions,
Yeah.
The author's experiences from those childhood Ouija board sessions
Right.
to these mind-bending dream journeys.
Yeah.
They challenge us to reconsider what we believe is possible. And what I really appreciate is that throughout his journey, he walks this fine line between skepticism and open-mindedness,
Yeah, he does.
never dismissing the strange or the unexplainable,
Right.
but always seeking a deeper understanding.
It's a good approach.
It is, and I think he encourages us
Yeah.
to do the same,
To do it.
to cultivate our own intuition,
Okay.
to question our assumptions, and to just be open to the mysteries that are out there.
To the mysteries that lie beyond the veil of our everyday reality.
Exactly. So what resonates most with you?
That's a good question.
Yeah, does the author's story make you question your own perceptions of reality?
It certainly makes you think
It does.
about what might be possible.
Yeah, what doors to the unknown
Right.
might be waiting to be opened in your own life.
Exactly. That's definitely something to ponder.
It is. And that's a wrap on our exploration of Unikuvia. Yeluanalan, Elamani.
Reading the files with eyes open wide. Hair stands on end when they can't hide. Lights in formation glide through the night. Proof is elusive, but it feels so right. The truth is out there waiting found. Voices